Turns out I don't know how to do this either. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Dashing Lane Dash. See, I usually have Jacob Moore here to unmute my mic, so I actually don't know how to unmute myself because I never stop talking. But anyways, it's Dashing Lane Dash here on the video, along with Mr. More for Your Money. And as you can see, we are here at the analyst desk here. And yeah, it's going to be an interesting day. Can you hear me, Dan? I can't hear Dan for some reason. Oh.
Can you hear me?
There we go. Okay. Ooh,
okay. Sorry for the technical difficulties. We don't have the professional producer here tonight, but we're still going to do a show for you lovely people. You see, Lane did a beautiful background there of our desk.
Literally the analyst desk right here.
Literally.
We're here at the desk here, and yeah, we got some big breaking.
I love it.
So I think we got the first comment here, and we'll talk about this first, but we're going to talk about the breaking signings. If you guys want to talk about anything else, of course, send through the chats, and we'll share them up. We'll talk about anything you guys want to talk about, but we're here to talk about the big signings today. And the first one we got to talk about is the Toronto Blue Jays. Mark Shapiro and Ross Atkins. They just got their brand new contract from Mr. Edward Rodgers over there, and they're spending their money. They picked up a guy from Rodgers. I don't know if they think that he works for Rodgers, but he doesn't work for Rodgers. He's not going to help them with their customer support line, no. But yeah, as Sherry Radway has said that the Toronto Blue Jays have picked up reliever from the New York Mets, Mr. Tyler Rodgers. That came in about maybe an hour ago, and I was huge to see that. He's a phenomenal player. What do you think about that?
That was a huge pickup. My goodness, because we've been busy the last couple of days signing pitchers.
Going up subs on.
Yeah. Hello.
More money.
Yeah.
Ooh.
More for your money. Woo.
Everyone's here today.
Awesome. Cool.
Hey, Willie, what's going on? And
welcome back, everyone. Thank you for joining us.
Big Wilfred in the house.
Yeah. Awesome.
But yeah.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us.
And of course, just as long as your comment is PG, we will show it on the screen. We will address your comments as long as they are PG friendly. But yeah, what do you think about the Jays? We will talk about that as well. Yeah, there's a lot. There was a lot going on today.
Well, what a crazy day! My phone was just blowing up nonstop, like and like NHL news, MLB news. There being a lot of CFL news going on the last couple of days. You know, there's a lot of really interesting stuff. So really cool seeing the sports world picking up. With the Blue Jays, I'm shocked they're being as busy as they were. Like,
I'm not.
Well, really?
Why are you shocked? They literally were.
Well,
they were literally a millimeter away. Like, I'm not kidding you. Either a millimeter and two guys happened to jump into each other that could have literally from winning a World Series. I'm not surprised the Jays are.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm surprised that they're making. Because it's great routing all these pitchers. I love it. But the $1 million
Austin Matthews trade, unfortunately.
Unfortunately not. Oh, that would be nice. But, I'm just saying, if they get all these pitchers, who are they getting up? You can't keep all these pitchers. And think about it, it's like you said, Mr. Daskell, they were millimeters, because we are Canadian after all. They were millimeters away, not inches, millimeters away from winning World Series. So it's almost like they're blowing up their pitching roster.
Where are the Jays getting on nuts? It's all the Rodgers. I'm telling you, it's all the sponsorship dollars getting to that World Series, all that extra revenue, selling all those extra seats for $250,000 over there.
Well, don't forget, they wouldn't got back money, right? Most of the people reselling.
I'm just joking.
But you think not just they did up the ticket prices, obviously, but look at just all the revenue of people buying Blue Jays jerseys and Blue Jay hats, and Blue Jay flags. It was like we're seeing more Blue Jay swag on the streets right now than Maple Leaf swag. We're seeing more Blue Jay swag like we did at the Raptors back in 2019.
It pays to be a winner. Unreal. It pays to be a winner, and I know that you can say, well, they didn't win, but I get that. But where they got to. And how far they've actually gotten, you got to respect. And I really like this signing from the Toronto Blue Jays. You get a really top end reliever. And they also signed another guy from the Detroit Tigers, Cade Lee.
Hey, yes, that's right. Yeah.
Alec, he tweeted. I don't know if you saw his tweet. He tweeted a play of him throwing a fastball to I believe it was Ernie Clement, and he said, "If you can't beat him, join him."
Nice. I didn't see that.
He put it on his personal Twitter. He's like, "If you can't beat him, join him."
Oh, that's awesome. I love it.
So yeah, the Jays picked up 2 big relievers, and honestly, your question of who do they trade, I hate to say it, but I said this before, and I kind of caught some slack on the desk for saying it before, but it kind of got confirmed. I think Jose Barrios is gone.
Yeah.
Because if the story with Jose Barrios, again, we don't know. We're not there. Me and Dan are in the locker rooms. We don't know that guy. I've never had a conversation with this guy. But the feeling I kind of got was, and from all the press and stuff, was that he was completely miserable, right? Like he felt like he was betrayed in a way where he thought like he was better than what they were saying, and they weren't giving him the options in the wild card. They weren't putting him on the playoff roster. They didn't put him in the World Series, and he didn't even come to the World Series. He literally stayed home and said, "Screw you guys! I'm going to sit at home and watch it from home because I don't."
That's why he was one of very few players. Like even the other players were not in the starting roster. They were still in the dugout. They were still in the locker room. They were still in the bullpen, like cheering on their boys. And I think that's what you should do, right?
Hope Varsho ain't coming back. Can never forgive him. And
I don't know about that. I like Varsho.
It's tough, right? But
he's a Gold Glove winner. I mean,
I know,
got 20 home runs. I mean, I thought he had a bad shoulder. He only played 70 games. He got 20 home runs in 70 games.
I get it, but when you make a mistake in a World Series game-winning play, people probably aren't going to want Isaac Kalefa back either. But yeah, I'm not surprised. And the Jays have been one of the busier teams here so far in the off season. He can't hit when we needed him the most, and unfortunately, the Jays are lacking a bat. And that's a good comment there, Subzor. And we're going to get into I'm going to show the other comments about somebody in a second. So we will get to your comments when we get to that. So keep it. I see commenting about someone.
Because we're definitely going to talk about that tonight too.
So we haven't shown it. We will get to it 100%. We will show your comments when we get to that subject. But yeah, like I said about the Jays, I think if they can land Mr. Kyle Tucker, who's always in the batting lineup. He's always moving around like this. And if they can land Bo Bichette, God, I'm down.
Wow,
I'm down.
This is so sweet to see, and it's really awesome.
I know he doesn't use that song anymore, but
like you said, Mr. Dasko, people want to play for winners. And we didn't see the big free agent names come to Toronto in years past. Look at with the Mets signing. Like he told us to go in Mets instead of Toronto, for example. And other big market players the Blue Jays have gone after in the past have not picked the Blue Jays. Even that great pitcher from the Dodgers. Right, we gave him the hat and the jacket. He never gave it back to us, So you don't see the big names coming. But now we're seeing the big names like what Case said, right? They can't beat from joining them. They want to come to Toronto. They want to have a whole country of fans backing them up, right? So this is phenomenal to see. And, I'm surprised in a way that they were this close. And we're almost, blowing up after being that close. But I'm like, I guess
I knew they were blowing up.
Case of victory, they wanted more, right? So I think
I knew they were going to blow it up even after that, and it's going to be a good team this year. I think that the Jays are going to be much improved. They're starting to improve the areas that they felt like they needed to. They got Dylan Cease, have hopefully a Cy Young starter. Yes, I know last few years in the Padres didn't go the way he wanted to, but the guy from the White Sox when he was in the American League was a Cy Young contender there, so there's that.
Right, yeah.
You got 2 huge relievers now. Cade Weber, you signed that Cody Ponce from the Korean Baseball League. I'm not a big fan of him, but at the end of the day, I was reading about him a little bit more, and they said he's got a lot of upside, and now you could be.
It sounds like we don't know much about him yet.
Right, we don't know, right? You don't know what he's going to bring to. You don't know what he'll bring to the major league. He hasn't been here in 7 years, but they say he's improved his mechanics and everything, and what he's been working on should be working. It's worked in the Korean Baseball League. Of course, you got to transfer that skill to the major leagues. We'll see. But you're talking about bringing in Kyle Tucker. You're talking about bringing back Bo
Tucker's
Bichette.
a
This
big
Jays
name.
team is going to be this Jays team could be like one of the obviously not the strongest team because we know that's going to be the Dodgers, but
Well, there might be a close
Dodgers and
second,
Jays
I think.
still battling in the offseason. Like you get my player, I'll get your player.
Yeah, literally, exactly. They're going tic-tac-toe, really. And then, what's really going to be interesting as the offseason moves on, we get the big names player wanting to go Jays and Dodgers. What does happen to the bank accounts of the MLB, right? Well, about the Yankees and the Mets and the Boston Red Sox. Like, these players are not just interested in the money anymore. We're not just interested in saving taxes. They actually want to win a World Series. So you just can't follow the highest bidder wins anymore, right? It's about building the best product on the field.
Well, that's the thing, right, Dan? And the rumor is, and again, these are just rumors.
Yes.
But the rumor is as after this next CBA, there is going to be, the MLB is kind of getting sick of this, and they're going to start putting a salary cap in. So this might be your last 2 or 3 years where you can really just go, as like Pitbull, just throw money in the air and let it go fly and be like, "Hey!"
When's the CBA expiring? 2 or 3 years?
I will look that up for you while you MLB. You don't mind just doing?
Yeah, so I don't know off the top of my head. I'll bet you away. I know it's coming up soon, and there's been talks about. Because think about MLB is the only major sport left
2026
that doesn't have a salary cap.
So it'll be next year.
Next year. So you're right. This is the last chance to pull out the checkbook. And you got to give Rodgers, the corporation. I know we all controversial about Rodgers in Canada, but give them credit. They have the opportunity to spend money to go for a win, and they're definitely doing that. So give them credit for doing that.
But yeah, we'll get back to that. But, of course, we had a busy day, not only in MLB, because there was obviously it's MLB free agency, but there was a busy day in the Mr. National Hockey League on a random day in December 12th. And we're going to show these trades because I cannot believe it. Holy moly.
You figure you're close to trade deadline.
I think we got to show. I was wrong about Hughes ending up with the New Jersey Devils.
I was wrong too.
Well,
I really thought it was a perfect fit for him. Now Minnesota, we'll get into it, but Minnesota did give up a lot. And shout out to Wick as well, because Wick from Hamilton Sports Central told me about the trade even before the trade happened. So that's when we started, like Mr. Daskell and I really started researching, refreshing Sportsnet like every minute. When is it happening? When is it happening? When is it happening? And,
you see on my screen here at 10:04 in the morning, just as I was waking up, having my morning coffee here.
That's right.
The big trade happened between the Edmonton Oilers here and the Pittsburgh Penguins, basically switching goalies.
Yeah,
I'm a little. This is earlier in the day. The Edmonton Oilers have acquired goaltender Tristan Jarry and Sam Poulin from the Pittsburgh Penguins for Stuart Skinner, defenseman Brett Kulak, and the 2029 second-round pick to the Penguins. So you get a second-round pick, Kulak and Skinner for Jarry and Sam Poulin. Then they also got Spencer Stastny from the Nashville Predators for a third-round pick.
Technically, it's a free team trade, and you know what?
And yeah. I don't know how he does his cool emotes. He's got to teach me. I love these little emotes that he does.
I love that.
I don't know if it's a special keyboard or something. Or you got to teach me how to send those. I like them.
That's really cool. But it's like, I gotta be honest, like so much happening today. I actually forgot about the Brett Kulak player in that trade, because I'm sitting there, I'm like, why would Doofus, as I like to call him, trade for the two goalies? Like, it doesn't make sense. In my opinion, he's downgrading goaltending, and I don't think he's saving that much money in cap, because Skinner is like $3 million. But then I thought, Brett Kulak could possibly be a missing piece that Pittsburgh needed. You think about Brett Kulak with Pittsburgh's defense, they are really good with Letang and Carlson, and then they kind of dip down a bit after that, right? So on a team like that, Brett Kulak might be a top 4 defenseman, or even as a bottom 6 defenseman, as we're seeing in the NHL teams that make deep cup runs. A lot of them even have 7 defensemen. So these bottom tier defensemen are more and more valuable every day. And I think Brett Kulak is a really sweet piece for the Pittsburgh Penguins, as everyone's kind of underestimating. And I think that's why they made this trade, because we were talking, Mr. Dasko, we're like, well, why are they doing Skinner? But then you look at the Kulak situation, I'm like, oh, okay. Defensemen are so hard to come by nowadays, so maybe that's why he did it.
Well, here's what I don't understand about this, and it's the one thing that I've seen actually a lot of discourse that I didn't realize. You know, if you weren't happy with Stuart Skinner, he came off the end of the day, he was a free agent at the end of the year. Now you got Tristan Jarry, who is another goalie, which, let's be honest, I think a lot of people would agree with me here. I feel like you can get easily just as frustrated with him as you can with a Stuart Skinner. You know, this Tristan Jarry is okay, but he makes a lot of mistakes too, right? He's not a perfect goalie either. He's an up and down guy too. One day he's really good. You're like, oh, Tristan Jarry's playing good. Next minute it's like, bro, make a save. So I feel like he's another Stuart Skinner in there, where it's like, if the first game he lets in 5 goals, they're going to be saying, well, what did we actually improve? We got to get the same guy. And now the worst part is you carry the same cap hit, but not for another 3 years. So instead of just playing on Stuart Skinner this year, just letting him go at the end of the year and then trying to figure it out, now you've got a similar goalie as Wilfred Witzke here in 20607. They're both average goaltenders, and now you got to carry that same $6.8 million cap hit for another 3 years. I just don't really see how Edmonton's really benefiting from. Yeah, I'll go punch it up for you. But,
I got Skinner as a $3 million cap hit.
No, maybe I don't think so.
He got the
extension. He got the extension. If you don't remember.
Yeah, that kicks in next year, doesn't it?
Maybe I'll check for you.
I think I could be wrong, but I think I was looking at numbers earlier today.
Let me check. You might be right. I will give that a quick check. I know it does. I don't know if it kicked in this year or next year.
I think he signed it this year, kicking in next year.
Okay, I will check that for you.
That's what I believe, but I'm not perfect, But it's
so Tristan Jarry is a $5.375 million for 3 years.
That's high.
That's what I'm saying. And then we go to. Where are you, Mr. Skinner? Skinner?
Yeah.
Skinner? Where is Pittsburgh out here? Let's just see. Just check in here.
One thing I just
Yes, he's a free agent. I told you he had the 1 year this year, and then he's a free agent.
Wow,
That's what I mean. So you had one bad year. You could have just played it up for 1 year, stuck with Stuart Skinner for the 1 year, then tried to address your goalie next year. Maybe you find somebody on free agency, or you find somebody in the off season. Now you just added on another like $4 million for another 3 years for a goalie who basically is the same thing.
It's not even that good, in my opinion.
He's good, but he's Stuart Skinner. You traded Stuart Skinner for Stuart Skinner.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I get that Tristan Jarry.
He's not a Stanley Cup goalie. He's not.
No, 100% he's not. I get technically this year he has better numbers than Stuart Skinner. I totally get that. But let's be honest, Pittsburgh's a better team this year to play behind than Edmonton, right? And I'm looking at this trade. I'm like, is this saying that Edmonton is giving up on this season? Or are they saying that Jarry's an upgrade and they're not giving up on the season? Like, us giving up Kulak doesn't really make much sense to me, right? Now, I did forget with Pittsburgh's defense, they do have Weatherspoon, which is a very nice free agent signing they did this offseason from Vegas. And they also got Matt Dubba, which Matt Dubba is not the powerhouse that he used to be, but he's still a very good bottom defenseman. And they have Ryan Graves. So I'm guessing Kulak is going to be on that second pairing with Weatherspoon, if I had to guess.
Again,
I think that's why Pittsburgh made this trade, because I look at it, I think Skinner is a downgrade from Jarry at this point.
I agree with this. Edmonton should have gone for I think he means what's his name? From Nashville.
Nashville, yeah, exactly.
The goalie, what's his name?
So I can't think of it. The fitness dude.
Yuki Saros.
Yuki Sato, thank you. Yeah.
I think that's who he's talking about. Yeah, that's what I would have gone after. And you look at these stats, and I don't know if I want to. I know it's not Halloween, but I have something that's really scary. So you see, these are okay. I don't want everyone to see sitting down when they have to see this, because this is terrifying. Yeah. What is this? What is this? 1 game played, 952. 6 games, 888 in the playoffs. 1 game, 867.
Wow.
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 Ew.
Now, here's a $1 million question. Are any of these players involved in this trade? Did they play in OHL and Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds? Because we know that we know that's what he likes recycling, right? I can't think on top of my head, but
and yes, you did post this earlier. Matt Dumba's on waivers. Boys,
I forgot about that.
It's just the thing with that. I know you did comment earlier about Wilfred, but the Leafs should snag him. But
I would love Dumba on the Leafs.
No, honestly, okay, I'll tell you why.
Okay, yeah, tell me why, because I'm intrigued. I would love, especially the injury of Brandon Carwell. And then you figure if we get somebody like Matt Dumba, we could possibly trade Brandon Carwell for a top 6 forward. We got the cap space to do all this now.
It's not that, though, but if you look at the stats, and I'm going to pull them up here because I know the name, you think the name, you're like, oh, yeah. Matthew
I know Dumba's not what he used to be. I know his stats are pretty bad this year.
They're terrible. Totally agree with that. They haven't been good for like 4 years, Stan.
I get that.
He only had 12 points, and he had 12. You look back, so he put up, after he put up that 50-point season, he had 22, 24, 21, 27, and 21, 22. And since then, he's had 14 in 79, 12 in 76, 10 in 63, and this year with Pittsburgh, 3 in 11, which is better, but it's still like. And the thing with Matt Dumba is that I think everyone's forgetting is he's like a William Nylander, but he's a defenseman, right? He's not going to go out there and he's not going to play responsible in the back end. Did I eat bad salsa again? Maybe I have not been feeling good for a week, so maybe I did eat something. Yeah. It's a good fit. I
think he is a good fit.
I disagree because at the end of the day, I look at Matt Dumba as a guy who, I mean, if you just wanted to put him on your power play, maybe that's
no. I don't even want to do that. I agree with you, Lane. Matt Dumba is not a top pairing defenseman the way he used to be. I totally respect that,
and he doesn't play defense.
But what I'm saying is, you got Morgan Riley, OEL. Then when Chris Tanev comes back, you have Tanev and McCabe. I think Dumba would be amazing with Benoit as a bottom 6 pairing. And then as what Jacob's not with us tonight. He is producing a hockey game at the moment in the OJHL. I guess if anyone wants to talk about the OJHL, by the way, Mr. Daskell is an expert at that. It's a play-by-play commentator for the OJHL. But it's like, I think that Jacob has pointed out, though he's been on the decks here, that Brandon Carwell is going to trade bait for a top 6 defenseman. So, a top 6 forward, I should say. So if you can get rid of Carwell and replace Matt Dumba on the bottom, Sketcher, that's why I'm forgetting about Sketcher. But
I get what you're saying. Again, Wilfred, I look at it like. Again, I look at it. Like I said this, I don't hate the guy. I just think he's William Nylander as a defenseman. If he's not going to put up points, what's he going to do? He's going to be.
He's a big hitter.
He doesn't really hit.
And the Leafs need that.
He used to hit. He doesn't hit anymore because he's slow. He's slow. He's had a lot of injuries. He's very slow now, and he can't play the game how he used to play. Like Stretcher, at least Troy Stretcher was showing that he just wasn't a good fit there. Matt Dumba hasn't had a good season in almost 5 seasons where he's been bouncing around and he's almost been going to the AHL.
I
just don't think I think we would get him. He'd play 5 games and Leaf Nation would be trying to like throw him in front of the Zamboni in 5 games.
One funny Greyhound.
They did try to get him, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm the wrong one. Maybe they will sign him, and because maybe they need the help right now, and maybe it's better than playing like Mr. Villainy from the Marlies or something. So maybe
Right.
we'll see it. If I could see it if you wanted to put him as a maybe third pairing,
That's what I'm saying.
Mostly power play to fix that power play. If you want to get that offensive flash, try to get that power play a bit better and play him very minimal minutes on the back end. Maybe it would work, but to put him in a top 4 role with Carlo, I don't.
No, I'm saying he's replacing Carwell because we honestly don't know how long Chris Tanev and Brandon Carwell are going to be out. Hope for God they'll be back soon, and hope for God they're okay. We don't know for sure, right? They might be out for a long time. And I love what Troy Stetcher's doing. I think it's an incredible story. Now, again, Edmonton is a much harder team to play defense for than Toronto, even. But Stetcher and the long played 66 games in Edmonton, actually over 70 games, I believe, in Edmonton, and he didn't play all that well for the whole season. So I think right now what Stetcher's doing is very cute. But can he continue that for 80 games? We don't know. Versus Dubba is a proven defenseman for a long time in the NHL, and I get he's not your top 2 pairing the way he used to be. But if I look at it, if you can get him for nothing on waivers, we have the cap space. We have all these injuries on the back end. Look how scared we were the other night when OEL left the game. Right? We're at the point now, if we get one more injury, we're calling AHL defensemen that have no NHL experience. And no disrespect to those AHL guys. I watch the Marlies play all the time. They're a great group of guys. But you still want to be a team that makes the playoffs. You want to be a buyer, trade deadline. You need some aggressive defensemen. And I'm sure we're going to be talking about the second trade in the NHL very soon today. But you look at the second trade in the NHL that happened this evening, just a little while ago with Quinn Hughes. The defensemen are worth a lot of money. And even with Brandon Carwell, with Brett Kulak, with the Pittsburgh trade, it's a lot of money.
Ontario Secret wants to know if you ate good today.
If I ate good today. Whoa. I did eat pretty good today. I had some chicken and a little bit of pizza. Yeah, it was a good day, actually. Yes, it was. I'm feeling good.
And Wilfred Witzke is saying Carlo's out at least a month. Tana's undetermined. But yeah, and you know what?
That's what I'm saying. That's why I think Debba would be a really nice fit.
But speaking of defensemen, the Vancouver Canucks had said bye to one of their defensemen, a star defenseman. We got a big trade, of course, at 8:00 tonight.
Yeah.
Thanks. We're going to share it right on our screen here.
Like I said, we heard the rumor around 7, but yeah, holy cow,
holy cow is right. And Friedman was just my probably doesn't sleep sometimes, but from Elliot Friedman, the Vancouver Canucks traded Quinn Hughes to the Minnesota Wild for Marco Rossi, Zev Buium, Liam Ogren, and the 2026 first round draft pick.
What a high price. Holy cow. I mean, I think it's worth the price, to be honest. I think Quinn Hughes is just good.
So, yeah, I've seen a lot of discourse. People are saying they didn't get enough. Marco Rossi is a guy, he's playing right now in the NHL. He's got 13 points.
He got 60 points last year.
Yeah, he's a 60-point player, pretty
good.
Second
center the Canucks really need.
My friend was telling me on the phone, Zev Buium, he was supposed to be picked a bit higher in the draft, but he dropped a little bit due to just – actually, a lot of people don't even know why he dropped. They said he could be a franchise defenseman, so we'll have to keep an eye on him.
First-round pick last year. First-round pick. I mean,
this Liam Ogren guy is also in the NHL. He's struggled. He has played 18 games and unfortunately 0 points, but he is only 21. So you're getting 3 really good young players, and I think
that first overall pick.
Yeah, and I think the controversy around Vancouver, and I would love to hear from our friend out west there, Mr. Dan Gray, because he would be great for this type. I think because he would know a little bit more than I would, but. I think the common controversy around the Vancouver Canucks that I have heard for many years is that the Aquilini brothers, who own the team and basically are the GM, but they won't say they are.
Right.
But let's just say they're the GM because they basically run the team. They were like determined to just, they're they're like a car in the mud when it gets stuck. Instead of wanting to get up, they just want to rev the tires and continue to splash the mud over, spin the tire. But I think we're finally, maybe this is the start of the Aquilini. Excuse me. I think this is the start of maybe the Aquilini brothers realizing that this team needs to just blow, like they got to blow it up.
Well, to be honest,
I'm surprised they signed Brock Besser.
That's what I mean. I still don't understand what this team is doing, because I thought we saw the demolition begin with the Miller trade, right? And then they surprised everyone right before July 1st, and we signed Brock Besser, because we all thought Brock Besser was the big fish in the free agent pool this summer, and we thought it was a good chance the Leafs are going to bring in Brock Besser to replace Mitch Marner on the top 6 forward. Would have been a perfect fit. But then instead, Vancouver handed him $7 million. And like, okay, so you trade away your captain, you re-sign a player, now you're trading your franchise guy. And I think Quinn Hughes, call me crazy, I think Quinn Hughes is just as good or even better than Cale Makar. Because Quinn Hughes is doing everything he's doing in Vancouver. It's a dumpster fire. You look at Colorado, they have a great team. So if you put Quinn Hughes on a team like Colorado, he would be right up there with Cale Makar. I really believe that. So it's like, and now we're all sitting here laughing. Oh, if they signed Kaprizov for $17 million, oh, he's got no one to play with. Ha ha. Well, hello. Now they got Quinn Hughes. So my $1 million. Actually, maybe this is a gas or ass, but I don't know if you have that button, Mr. Dasko.
Let me see. I believe I do. So give me one.
Oh, look at Dasko being a producer.
So we're going to play a little game.
There we go.
Called gas or ass. Or is it ass?
So my $1 million gas or ass question. I apologize, none of us can sing the way Jacob can. But my gas.
I thought I did it pretty good.
Yeah, you did a pretty good job. I'll give you that. You're much better singer than I am. But my $1 million gas or ass question is we kept saying Minnesota's not really a contender. They have the highest paid player in the NHL in Kaprizov, and not really a contender. Does Quinn Hughes make Minnesota a contender? I'm going to say gas. What do you say, Mr. Dasko?
100%. Well, it's another thing I didn't realize too, and I didn't realize this until I was watching another video.
Mm-hmm.
You know who runs Team America is a
GM
of the Minnesota Wild.
That's
and now he's got 3 guys on Team America in Brock Faber, Quinn Hughes, and who's the other guy I'm thinking of? There's another guy on this team.
Brody?
No, maybe it's only the 2. No, it's just the 2. But yeah, he's got Brock Faber and Quinn Hughes right on his back end there, and now he gets to kind of. He's probably going to bring both these guys to Team USA.
I have Hughes.
What's that?
I think all 3 Hughes brothers are making Team USA.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, but now he gets to kind of not only be with him on Team America, but now he gets to see chemistry with him and the Wild players, and then bring them to the dance of the Olympics if they go, which is another whole topic.
Yeah,
I don't know if you saw that picture of the ice. That looked, bro. I see people in their backyard build a better rink than what's going on. That thing looks like a mess.
Only they can make for ice. Do they even make for pizza?
It looks like they're doing this. It's not gonna work. They want to burn it down.
Oh, be careful.
They want to burn down the Olympics. No. But no, seriously, that's a mess.
Maybe West just gave them off of making bad ice.
Well, we don't want to get into that, but we don't want to get into that comment. But but seriously, Team America, I don't know, but I just think this is a good look, right? If you're Bill Guerin, you're trying to make a splash here. You're trying to make your team better. And 100%. I would say, guys, you look at this team now, and I'm going to share it here on the screen, and
because a lot of people say one player can't make you a contender, but I think if there's one player that can make your team that much better, I think it's Quinn Hughes. I think
100%.
I really love this guy. I didn't hate him before, but I was never a big fan of him before. But after how respectful he was during the Four Nations, and he's like, no, what? I'm not going to Team USA. I am the captain of Vancouver Canucks, and I'm going west so I can be the captain of Vancouver Canucks to give them the playoffs. Don't forget, he only missed the playoffs last year by, 2 or 3 points, right? It was very, very close. And but being such a young guy, he's a phenomenal leader and great captain.
They got Juracek coming too. I forgot about that guy.
Oh, wow.
But you got this coming up to the NHL. But you look at this team, right? They still got $2 million this year to play with because Kaprizov's cap hit. Actually, we're going to look at it. Doesn't actually kick until next year. But you look at this team, right? You got 12 forwards. You got Kaprizov, who's a star. Matt Boldy, a star. I think that's the other guy going to Team America.
Yeah,
that's who it is. It's Joel Eriksson, Tarasenko, whatever. Matt Zuccarello's on LTIR. Foligno.
I think Tarasenko could get going. That's kind of a gamble, but he's
Ryan Hartman, Trennan, Sturm, Yurgov, Johansson, Pitlick, who's not bad, Kubel. Then on the defense, you got this. This is amazing. You got probably the best. You might have the best top 4 in the NHL right now with Brock Faber, Quinn Hughes, Jared Spurgeon, Jonas Brodin. That's a disgusting top 4.
Wow, that's crazy. And you got Zach Bogosian too, a veteran to help lead all these young guys.
And everyone forgets about this guy, but he's 22. He was traded not too long ago.
Yeah.
This guy's a really fantastic player.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. I feel like Minnesota's a great team, but we're not talking about them because we're not a big market team like Toronto. Kind of like Colorado. Everyone forgets about Colorado. They're a great team, too. But more importantly, Minnesota is you got this phenomenal goaltending now. You got this backup goalie who is incredible. And the goalie you have as your head is arguably a franchise goaltender.
Which is funny because I don't know if you saw the tweet, but it's funny because the pick that the Edmonton traded to the Wild it's the franchise.
I did see that.
The guy they've been looking for forever is a franchise goaltender. But I don't know. I think the Wild are going to be we'll pull up the standings here, but I do think the Wild, and they're lucky because they play. The way the playoffs works, right? And I'll pull it up here for everyone to see. It just takes me a minute to go back and forth here.
Yeah, Lane doesn't have the multiple screens the way Jacob does. Holy cow. When we talk about the decks, but Jacob's decks looks like the decks in the background there. He's got 3 screens in the big corner. And so we're doing the best we can about him.
So you look at this right now. And, of course, we see the Colorado Avalanche are winning this division.
Yeah.
But you're sitting here, you're going to be finishing probably 3rd. So you're going to be facing, you do have a tough road because you're facing Dallas in the first round. And then if you get through them, you got to face Colorado more than likely.
Do you know what is crazy? You're looking at sorry, go ahead.
Too bad you're not in the Pacific where if you're in the Pacific, the Wild are in the Pacific, you had Quinn Hughes, you may not have to face one of these 2 juggernauts till the 3rd round.
Right. But you look at that division, that Central Division. We don't talk about division in the least being the hardest division in hockey. I think this year I might have switched to this Central Division because you look at Colorado. Okay, they're a franchise powerhouse. Dallas, Nico Langtonen, franchise powerhouse. Now we can say Minnesota is with Kaprizov and Quinn Hughes.
This team's going to get
Chicago, I think, is not that far behind. You look at how good of a year Connor Bedard is having. You look at some of the moves they made in the offseason. I can see them making a splash in the trade deadline. Then if you're talking about them, then we got the Winnipeg Jets, which you said a couple of weeks ago, Mr. Daskell, on our quarter NHL year show. You believe the Winnipeg Jets are the best team in Canada right now, and they're not close in the top of the division. So this is a very hard division in Minnesota still.
Yeah, and Connor Hellebuck is unfortunately, when he's out, unfortunately this team, I don't know if I thought they would be okay, but I
thought so too. Because Connor's still a decent goaltender.
Yeah, for sure.
But so, if we have Minnesota pulling a trigger of getting Quinn Hughes for it's tough division, are we going to see other teams in that division making a big splash before trade deadline? I think we might. I think we could see Chicago getting a big name trying to make a push. I think we could see I don't know. I don't think Colorado has much cap space. I don't know what else they could really do to be better, but they might try and find a little small move to become better. I think Winnipeg has to somehow get better. Let's be honest. I'm surprised. I'm disappointed. I thought Jonathan Taves in Winnipeg was a great signing, but you're right, Lane. That has not worked out. So now if you're Colorado, now if you're Winnipeg, you're like, are you going to make that big move to compete in this division? I think a big move's coming.
So, yeah, I agree with you, Dan. And I don't know if you agree. Like, I got the standings here. Let me give it a quick conversation here. I don't gas for us between you and me. I don't think these three are changing. Colorado, Dallas, Minnesota. I think those three are 100% locked, loaded. Put a key, put it in a box, open it 10 years later. Those three are staying the way they are.
I'm actually going to say ass to your comment.
Who's catching them? Just Chicago's going to catch.
I don't know. I don't know, but the NHL is crazy, and I can see.
Catch, you can't.
I can see Chicago or Winnipeg making a move and getting in that top 3 spot.
And you realize but look at the points. So you think about. You're already 18 points back of Dallas. You're like, what, 23 points back of Colorado. And you're now Wild, who just got Quinn Hughes. You're not going to catch them.
So you think Winnipeg's missing the playoffs?
Yeah. Honestly,
wow.
I don't think that 3 in the Central is moving. The only 3 that I could see really changing is this Pacific, because I think Anaheim is a team that could fall off. The Kings are hit and miss. I think
the Kings are really good.
They're good, but they're not the greatest, right? And
I can see Anaheim falling off, but
we all know this isn't. I mean, we make memes and jokes, but this is not. Edmonton are not going to be a wild team. They're going to be, I think, in my opinion, probably second or third here, probably third.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the Sharks make it. I think they will fizzle off.
No, I think
the Blackhawks will fizzle off. I don't think Utah makes it. I don't think Seattle makes it. The Jets are getting there. These 4 teams are garbage. This is the only team.
I think Chicago could make it.
I don't think so.
I do. Connor Bedard is lighting it up like crazy tonight.
I know, but he's young.
I know they lost tonight, but it's like you look at Tyler Bertuzzi. He's got 16 goals already playing beside Bedard. I think we're gonna get it done.
The only thing I would say to that, and we'll look at the East in a minute, but the only thing I would say
they got Spencer Knight too.
Yeah, I know, but the only thing that then you forget, though, these young teams, especially these young teams, they start out really hot, right? Because it's the first 30 games. They're trying to prove something. They're all gunning. They're trying to show themselves. The hockey's a little sloppy. It's kind of a mishmash out there of who's going to win every night. But then you hit that 50 game mark when it's like, oh, okay, this is when Florida decides we're not going to let it go the rest of the year. This is when teams like Florida and all these teams like Washington. This is when these teams start locking it down, and you don't get these rookies that are having these explosive years. They start fail off a little bit. And I'm not saying Connor Bedard's going to get 30 points the rest of this year. I still think he's going to be 100, like close to a 90-point player. I'm just saying it's harder when you have this young. Sure. When you have these young teams like San Jose and Chicago, what's going to happen is once the hockey gets tighter, they're still not used to that tightening up. And once the defense really starts to lock in, the goalies really start to get locked in. Every goal gets harder to score. It's harder for these younger teams to adjust. It takes 2 or 3 or sometimes 3 or 4 seasons. The Leafs should have done that. Unfortunately, they made it the first years, but that actually set them back. It's actually better to do what San Jose and Chicago are doing, where you're kind of showing that promise. You're like, we're right there. You get another 1 or 2 players in the draft to get you that little bit better, and boom, you're off and running.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, that 1 year when Toronto faced Washington in the playoffs.
It hurt them. It's the worst thing that ever happened to the
franchise. They lost in 6 anyway, and no one expected them to make it that year. They did, and you're right. They kind of screwed up the whole rebuilding draft system, right?
And now we look at this, and this I don't know what the heck this is. Every team, I don't know what this is. This is a crapshoot. This conference right now. You got the 3 in I could see all 3 in the Atlantic changing. To be honest, maybe on Tampa Bay, but
it's such a surprising year when it comes to standings.
I don't know what any of this is.
and all that. I mean, you think about it, I'm really surprised too with such a big splash, such a big change in standings this year.
You win 2 games, you're in a playoff. You lose your team game, you're dead last.
Well, yeah, like because you look at all the offseason.
At least the West makes sense. You have 50 points, 39. Okay, you got your low 30s and then your 20s. This makes sense. What is this?
I know
what is this?
Crazy.
What is this?
I think the East is crazier than the West.
No kidding, it's crazy. The Buffalo Sabres could win 4 games in a row and move from dead last and be almost third in the Atlantic.
Yeah, literally. But I think, does this have to do?
That's not going to happen, but
I hope not. Do you think this has to do with being the offseason, not seeing as many moves in the offseason, and because we didn't see the big splashes in the offseason, you think the teams didn't get better?
It's hard to say, right? Because, like,
I know.
You look at some of these teams, I get, like, I actually, you know what? I got a guess, Raz.
Okay,
I got
let's
a good
go.
one, and I'm going to play it, and I wonder what you think.
Okay, let's go.
Gas. Or is it ass? See, I can do it.
Yeah,
but parity in sports, in my opinion, is actually a bad thing. And I'm going to explain what I mean by that.
Okay.
I don't like how it's like, oh, 1 year you can have Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, and you could be the best team in the National Hockey League. But because of parity, next year you guys could be completely useless. And I think that in football too, you look at I know everyone's going to hate this and probably want me to be off the show, but the Kansas City Chiefs are really not that bad of a team. You got Patrick Mahomes as a franchise quarterback, Travis Kelce, they've got Rice, they've got Worthy, but the NFL has so much parity that, again, 1 year you're good, the next year Daniel Jones, who everyone's laughing at, is the MVP.
He got injured, though, did he?
I like in baseball, the teams that are good, and it makes sense why they're good. Basketball, the teams that are good, they make sense why they're good. Having all this parity, where it's like, oh, I went out and got Austin Matthews, and look at Nashville, for example. Nashville went out and signed Steven Stamkos. They signed Jonathan Marchessault. They have Roman Josi. This team on paper should be winning 70 games out of the year, and they should be the Stanley Cup favorites. This team can't win a game if their life depended on them.
Yeah,
that just doesn't make sense. But that's terrible for the league because it's such a hard thing to market when you got teams that are trying to do something. You got a team like Nashville who went out big swinging 2 years ago thinking, oh, we're going to sign all these players and put together an all-star team. Yeah, and the team is complete and utter garbage.
I know.
And then you get a team like Detroit, who's been bad for 3 or 4 years, has made no adjustments, no additions to their lineup, and is playing and it's third in the Atlantic. You got a team like Boston who doesn't even know what a first-line center is. They're all third, fourth-line guys, and they're one of the best teams in the league. It doesn't make sense.
And there are fourth-line guys with Friesen, Minton, and Alex Steves.
But you know what I'm saying, right? It's just hard to market. The NHL has a problem.
I'm gassing you on that one.
Where it's like you try to put this good team together, and you think, oh, we put these guys together with this, it should work. And it's a coin flip every year whether it's going to work or not. And having the standings like this, where it's like, you win one game, you're in first. You lose one game, you're looking at drafting Gavin McKenna. It's interesting, I guess, but I feel from a fan base, it's so frustrating because you don't even know what to say. Like, we come on here every league game, and we're either repeating ourselves or we're saying save the team or we'll go for the cup because every game we're in a different spot in the standings. It's so silly. It's so silly. There's no consistency in the NHL.
You bring up a very good point with this year being so strange, and it's something.
It's every year, though.
Well, okay, but you hear me out before I finish.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. But we hear out this year in particular has been crazier than normal when it comes to standings. And we saw teams didn't go out to make the big splash in the free agent signing in the trade market this summer the way we have in the past. Do you think Gavin McKenna is that great that some teams did not spend the money this year and okay with mediocrity to try to get a chance to get Gavin McKenna? Is he that type of player? We never talk about this on the decks, but it could be possible.
Well, I don't know if you've seen, Dan, but Gavin McKenna, I think he's regretting going over to the U.S. Nat College because he's no longer considered to be the number 1 draft pick anymore.
No, he's not playing nearly as good as what
he's playing horrible. Right now, he's not even considered to be a top. I don't even think they said he may not even be the top 3 pick right now from a kid that was poised to go first overall. No, I don't think that will happen. I think at the end of the day,
first overall pick because of everything he did last year. And
he probably will be on it. I think the World Juniors will be good for him to kind of go. I think it'll be good for him to go to the World Juniors and have a really good tournament to get that respect back. But it is funny how, like, he goes over to try to, elevate himself. He leaves his team there. And all of a sudden people are like, oh, now they're talking about this Swedish kid.
Oh, why? I forget his name, but yes.
But it's just weird. Like, I don't know. I just find with the NHL there's too much parity, right? Like, you can't really bank on when you're going to be good or bad because you don't even know. And I feel this is even for the Minnesota Wild. Let's take that into consideration. They just got Quinn Hughes. They could miss the playoffs. They literally could.
You may could 100%.
Going, that's an NHL for you.
I know.
Oh, you got Quinn Hughes, and now you have lost 2 games straight.
Oh my goodness, it's crazy. But like, just speaking of the NHL quickly, little update. St. 2 games go on tonight. It's not a big day, but still a couple things to talk about. St. Louis beat Chicago, funny enough, which surprised me. 3-2.
That's what I'm saying.
We got
that's why I don't think Chicago makes it.
It was a weird game. A couple fourth line players got some goals and stuff. 3-2. And then going at the end of the second, we have the Mammoth beating Seattle 2-1. Mason Pardon me?
Who's playing? Sorry, who's playing Seattle?
Utah, the Mammoth.
Oh, the Mammoth.
Yes, the Mammoth. So we got Mason Mossman got a goal, Nick Schultz got a goal, and Keller Yagamono, who was a high Edmonton prospect at one point, he got the game-leading goal at the moment for the Mammoth. So, again, these are kind of arguably basement teams playing each other tonight. And I thought for sure Chicago would have got 2 points to keep saying, oh, we're on upswing this year. We're on the upswing. Connor Bedard only got 1 assist, So it's like what you're saying, Lane. Now that we're getting close to the halfway mark of the season, even basement tier teams are getting tighter and more defensively. And you look at last year in the Western Conference, Calgary missed the playoffs at 1 point. Vancouver missed the playoffs by 102 points. Let's say if Vancouver made the playoffs last year, are they trading Quinn Hughes now? Probably not.
Yes,
so it's like these games make such a huge difference, right?
Yeah, so, for sure.
So it's been crazy day.
Yeah, for sure. And we're going to keep here on the desk. And, of course, if anything changes, over the next few days, there could be some more breaking trades. And, that's what we'll try to be here at the desk, whether it's me, whether it's Dan, whether it's Adam or Mr. Jacob. We're going to try to be here for you. We still got to do a bunch of – let us know which league you want us to talk about. We still got to talk about the NBA and what's going on with Mr. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander having an incredible season and beating a team by 40 points. I can't believe that happened. We got to talk about the NFL. Playoffs are ramping up. We got a lot to talk about. So let us know what you want us to talk about, whether it's the MLB free agency. There's a lot of stuff going on there.
We got our email address down at the bottom there. So we're live now, but we're watching the show later on, and you can't comment. You can always email, or you can always inbox us on our social media platforms on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and all that fun stuff.
But I think as of tonight, I think we broke all the news there had to break. Nothing's happened. I checked Twitter just to be safe, and I think everyone's going to bed. So if anything happens in 5 minutes, we'll be back. But unless we're back, we'll see you next time here at the Analyst Desk for every day, just like any day. I'm Dashing Late Dashko, and this is Dan Moore for your money.
Woo!
We'll see you later, everybody. Have a good night.
Bye-bye.